Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Lindsay and this is my channel, A Piece of Gaia. And today we're going to look at all these new decks that I have. I just recently acquired these decks. A couple of them are going to be, this one actually isn't even an oracle deck. This is more of a plant guide for taking care of your plants, but it has such beautiful illustrations on it, and I'd like to incorporate it into my readings with messages from plants. So we have this one as our tarot deck today, and this one kind of goes along with this as an oracle deck. And then we have this little oracle deck and a little message from the birds with this oracle deck as well. Okay, so I can't wait to hear what our messages are for the next 24 hours. What are the things that we need to hear right now? What is most potent for us to hear right now? And let Spirit help us, see our next path ahead so that we can maybe avoid some things or embrace some things that come along our way, what opportunities are coming our way. And yeah, so let's go ahead and check out the energy of the reading. We're going to have 3 different readings. So here are the decks in their top covers. This one has double-sided. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just intuitively, I'm going to decide which one we're going to pick from here. I think we're going to pick from this one, actually. I think this would be a good... All right, so this is going to be your selection. You have number 1, number 2, and number 3, and I will see you in your selected reading. Hello to those of you who selected group number 1 here with the... I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Okay, that's the genus name of this plant. But it is the spider plant, native to tropical coastal areas of South Africa. It likes low light and lots of water and average humidity. All right. So this one has lots of little babies that pop up. I feel like there's lots of prosperity in your reading today. I also just feel in general there's going to be a lot of ideas coming your way. I feel like there's a lot of things that can sprout off from one idea. You can easily manifest, I feel, as well, and bring things into life. Like what you put your energy towards really is able to multiply and just keep going. I feel like, and you're also this kind of like mandala of this net behind her is like behind this plant is kind of giving me that you're connected to a network of people and friends around you that are very supportive. And with that red color, they might even be family. I'm also kind of seeing this as an orange color here, and this color is kind of matching this a little bit. It has some more pink in it, but I'm seeing that you just belong. You really belong to something. And I feel like you're kind of low maintenance as far as like this plant. I don't have one at the moment, but the last one that I had was so prolific and it was so abundant and got so big and had so many babies, and I gave them to friends. So I just feel like there's a lot of networking involved in this. I'm seeing a lot of the different astrology signs with that as well, but I'm not going to get into that just yet. So let's go ahead and take a look into the tarot here and see what your message is for the next 24 hours. This book gets like a little Velcro for little fuzzies. Yeah, I intended this to be kind of a cozy message, you know, with this like velvety blankie. This is just a throw for the end of my bed that I use for kind of an extra blanket for my feet in the winter. And that is already here. It is cold. It is, the sun is nice coming in, but it is deceiving. It is really cold out there. 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, the Sun. That's so nice. Let's take one more. Death. Okay. We have an ending here. See that in the 10. But this is a positive ending. It's got a lot of joy attached to it. I feel that your level of accomplishment and self-love has really risen to a very high level. And in general, this is contagious. I'm feeling like this energy with this was kind of giving me like, when you're around people, you have this very contagious energy about you. You may also be very intuitive in this next 24 hours, and that's showing me that you're going to be very giving and kind, and you can maybe even mother some people that you're around. I'm feeling maybe even if you are a mother and you have children. I'm seeing that with the Sun. You may have children. I'm seeing the Scorpio energy from the Death card, Leo energy in this card, all the water signs in this one. So in the next 24 hours, the biggest message is to apply the energy of release. Be able to embody the energy of releasing what is necessary to release. I'm feeling like in this card, there's this energy of a deep kind of passionate experience that I'm feeling, that you want to still be involved. There's a part of you, there's like this ghosty, haunted part of you kind of goes into energy where you're supposed to depart from, you're supposed to get yourself away from this energy. We're also looking at it in a very positive light, maybe even telling yourself another story. This was a message I had in a meditation this morning, was about being very positive about the stories. And there was one specifically that I don't remember it was a personal message for myself. I don't really remember it at this moment, or else I would share. If it comes up, I'll share. But I just feel that there's a positive energy here coming through, that it's unmistakable. It's like, it's something that you're going to be able to recognize. I feel there's a lot of, with this white horse, a lot of new beginnings and freedom. And I also see birth of something. I'm seeing like a literal family. Maybe even there's something going on here with the family dynamic. I also see the the two queens here. This message of the two queens. Some masculine energy here in the sun, but ultimately I feel like there's some balance here. It's very balanced and secure. I feel like there's a lot of, ultimately your message is just very positive. You're going into this next cycle, this next experience in a very positive way. And I feel like there's nothing really to be said about what you need to do other than to embrace what you want, what you ultimately want. What's the fulfillment? What are things that you can do now that are going to plant seeds for the future so that you can continue to bring in this joyous energy, this beautiful, happy energy. But also I'm being guided to say, like, this is in the shadow here, so I'm seeing that the sun casts a lot of shadows, you know, and we have the light that comes. See, my hand is casting the shadow here. So I feel like there's a lot of shadows that you need to be aware of, okay? So do your shadow work, do your subconscious healing. I did a video recently about shadow work a couple weeks back. You might want to check that out. Might be just a couple down from the video thing. So what I'm seeing though is, like, you're gonna bring these things to light. You're gonna be more aware of them. They're gonna be more in your consciousness. A lot of things from your subconscious are going to be brought to the consciousness. You know, the consciousness, I also recently I heard this, the consciousness is developed within the first 7 years of our life. Now, it's funny that we have 7 chakras, you know, the ones that are in the physical body, and that these, you know, are kind of lit up by that base chakra. Has to be ignited and established, and then we have this rise of our energy. So I'm feeling that it's gonna take, there's something about 7 steps, 7 stages, okay, to this process. You may have already gone through a few of them. 10 is giving me 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 3 other things. 3 is giving me, yeah. I'm also hearing there's something to do with multiple people getting on the same level in order for this consciousness to rise or this thing to end. There's something about that. Okay, the 7 is also saying this might take 7 days. This message of 24 hours might be a lot longer than you anticipated to hear from this message, but it's really setting the stage. It's kind of giving me, like, when you eat off of your regular diet, and let's say you just decide to binge and eat a couple pieces of cake, you're not going to see the results of that cake in the first day, right? It's going to take a while. So I say that in just a metaphor for kind of the energy of spirit and what they can deliver in your life and how everything really lines up. So right now you're being given the message of spirit to align yourself. So don't eat, metaphorically, don't eat the donut, because in the next 7 days, you're going to want your energy to be primed. So it's like, don't get involved in the lower energies of things. Stay in the higher frequency, the higher energies of things. And it's saying to detach from anything here that may be physically binding you. So if there's any habits or anything that you physically do that might not be the best for you, it's saying to embrace those things, you know, kind of like take an account of those things and kind of examine them. Become more of an examiner of this kind of deep energy, because I feel like there's things that we don't know about this energy, because death, you don't really know all of the aspects of death. So there's definitely something within this energy, like I said, with the shadow coming in. So there's going to be something in the subconscious or within the energy field that you're just not going to know everything, but there are going to be quite a few things that are going to be revealed to you because they're taking a look at this next cycle. How do you want to be more in the energy of your fulfillment? You know, how do you want to, embrace that more? And in order to do that, sometimes we have to do the necessary things. And the Queen of Pentacles is saying we have to do the necessary things in order to secure the winter. So I had kind of had that message in the beginning of the winter, and I'm getting this squirrel message. I see squirrels everywhere. I mean, they're in my backyard all the time. And I'm also getting an image of the squirrel. And you know how I don't know if you've seen this, but they will take another route in digging and burying their nuts if they notice something is watching them. I say just randomly a thing, but like even if a person is watching them, they will like stare at the person and they'll go and they'll go another way and try to bury their nuts somewhere else, because they're not going to let you know where they, at least, they don't want to let you know that or like where their stuff is hidden. So I feel like there's something about that, like yeah. So it's telling me don't reveal everything to everyone around you. Don't tell everybody where you hide your security, where you hide your money, your security blanket money. I'm saying blanket here, yeah. What's going to make you feel comfortable right now is to have something stored in the bank, something that you can have as a security, because maybe there's the next step that you're going into that I'm seeing. Also, I'm being guided to say the message of a home, because I'm seeing these queens, and then I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles, and I'm seeing a home, I'm seeing children, I'm seeing the next phase of your life fading away, and you having to embrace this new level of life because you're leveling up. This is a real leveling up. All these cards are saying we're leveling up, and we're taking into account our status and our integrity and what it means to walk with divine purpose and be in a very receptive state and allow it to come in, just like the sun just shining in. Just allow it. I'm not going to block this sun. I'm going to embrace the shadow that it casts, right? Because we're not going to know everything, but it'd be nice to just embrace things without having to worry so much about the things that we don't really know right now. Okay? As I feel like this plant's also coming through to say it doesn't really choose a time of year particularly. I mean, yes, in the warmer months, probably it'll produce a little bit more because it's just provided with more sunlight and more moisture, more nutrients, whenever, you might be, it's a house plant. So it kind of depends on how you're out taking care of this plant as well. I mean, you could tweak the lighting, you could do whatever you want. So I feel like this message is saying, I don't choose a particular time of year to be prolific. I just sprout out. I just go for it. So I'm feeling like that's a message to always kind of be ready. So this next 24 hours, another major message would be, don't get ready, be ready. Okay. All right, let's look at some more oracle cards. It's very quiet right now. There was a lot of noise earlier. I was waiting for that to stop, and it's just like dead silent now. Alright. Number 16, we have Bitchfire. Alright, stand up for yourself. Okay, so that's a very strong message. Let's get another one here. We have nostalgia, focus on the here and now. Okay. So I feel like also, yeah, embrace is telling me, you know, have gratitude for what you have and appreciation for yourself as well. I feel like it is what you make of it. You know, this queen energy is coming through to say, like, I had to fake it before I made it, and now, like, I am it. Yeah. And revealing yourself is a part of it. And this is also showing me that with revealing yourself, you have to recharge your energy. Scorpio energy, they go away and they, you know, as a person, a personality of this energy, they will retreat out. That's why Scorpios are often known as reclusive or hidden or secretive, because they will totally ghost out and get away from people at time to time in order to fully recharge their energy, because they know that energy is something that comes and goes, and it needs to be fully recharged when it's empty. Because this death energy, that's, you know, the Scorpio can be the master of transformation of energy if they know how to fully recharge that energy and go away. Because they can also be really pushed into a situation where they are either an energy vampire or they are being sourced as energy from other energy vampires. So you have to really keep that in mind with that energy, because this is also the card of the exchange of what happens when another form of power goes away and the next form of power comes in. And how does the energy exchange, this could be financially, this could be, you know, what happens in death, the estate of whatever, you know, has passed on, you know, whether it be a person, whether it be a company, whether it be anything like that, you know, those assets and things need to be passed on to another source, whether it be, you know, somebody who's involved. Like, I feel like there's some kind of exchange of that. And I'm feeling like stand up for yourself is really showing me that make sure that, since I said that message, it's like, if you feel like you're kind of a sensitive person in the situation and you're very lighthearted and you're very sweet, the Queen of Pentacles is saying, coming through and saying, make sure you get what is yours here. Don't let, like, secure away what is yours, and stand up for what is yours. And don't let other people gaslight you. This is showing me gaslight you into thinking that what's yours isn't yours, or like you need to put it into a cause that's for something else. You know, if there's some kind of will, I'm also seeing that coming through, because I'm seeing this family that hasn't seen each other in a while. So I'm seeing like a will also with the death card coming through. Like, if this is a family situation, that make sure that you have the protection on your side to get what is yours. And I see with the number 33, there was going to be a lot of spiritual intervention. There might even be someone in your family who is very just and right. And I'm seeing what these queens are telling me, you know, going back to that integrity message, they are seen all the time. They're in the spotlight, so they're making the right decisions. Yeah, I'm seeing the connection of maybe even a new friend coming in after the cycle, a new energy being brought in. And whatever energy that you were in is, I feel like that's attracting someone else. And they're kind of bringing in the vibe of either this is a past friend, like a friend that you've already had for a while. I don't know if that's the next 24 hours. That I feel like that's within the next month. The 33 is showing me maybe within the next month. Yeah. Okay. Alright, what's another message here from the birds? What about the next 24 hours? Swan, transformation, dreams, illusion. Oof. Yeah, I already spoke about put that over here. Transformation. Definitely. I've been getting a lot of swan imagery as well. So, these are giving me timing aspect. I feel like at this time, if you're watching this when this video posts, in the southern hemisphere, if you live in the southern hemisphere, okay, that's a message. If you align with that, that might be more relevant to some of these messages that are coming through. Your dreams are very important right now. Especially if your dreams involve anything, any imagery of anything that you relate and you associate with transformation. Like if you see something dead in your dream, or I feel like if I'm seeing a dream of like a really bright place with like rainbows and, you know, I see this as a unicorn, not a horse. Like I see this kind of fantastical type of dreaming, and I see this here with the mermaid in space. Yeah. I feel like a very creative mind, very creative dreaming. You might even vibe with not astral projection, but what is it? Lucid dreaming. Like I feel like you are the creator. There's this creator energy that you have in dreams. Interesting. What if they're, yeah, the next 24 hour your dreams, whatever you dream of tonight, it's try your best to write this down. I'm seeing writing this down. Even if it's incoherent, I hear you're going to read it later and it's going to make sense. Okay, so we have Heron, patience, focus, self-reliance. Yeah, I feel like that's why you're being guided to see your dreams and transition out of any type of illusions that are in your life right now. You're the only one that can sense this or feel this, because that is a very personal journey right there. And this is saying self-reliant. So it's like stay focused on you and be reliant on yourself. I see also the squat getting very aggressive as well, being territorial. I'm seeing that as just being able to maintain your space, like keeping your space positive, keeping your space in the energy of transformation and ending, like always kind of like, I feel like that's like the mode. If you want to constantly be in the energy, if you're a creative watching this and you like to create and just keep that cycle going, and you want to embrace the cycle of creation, the one main focus that I feel like we tend to overlook is the aspect of letting go. Because I don't know about you, but every time I create something, I have this like mini depression. It's like I get sad, I have this like mini little funeral inside of my head where I'm like, meh. I get like really sad and I'm kind of 4 of cups under a tree just for like a moment, you know, and depending on what I created. And even if it's something like this, like I created this blanket and like after I was done with it, I was like, okay, what's next? Even though it just like took forever, and I'm like, I did this all by hand, and I'm looking at it like I feel like no matter what it takes, you know, eventually the season will end. So whatever you want to get involved in here, you know, make sure that like you're taking into account that very intuitive process. The queens are saying that intuitive process of being in that receptive mode, allowing those messages to come in and receive them. Look at them with a very critical eye, I'm hearing with Queen of Pentacles. Like she knows which nuts are going to be good for storing away. Not all of them that fall off the tree are going to be good. Some, maybe they're premature and they're going to get bitter. Or I'm also hearing like there's some of them that rot because they crack open and they let in too much moisture, and then over the winter, you know, that may mold and spoil a whole bunch. So that's the one thing. Another message is saying to keep a lot of the energies separate, but also very positive in that look, in that story that you're telling yourself throughout the day. Be very very aware, very conscious of the things that you involve yourself, the energy that you're involving yourself in the next 24 hours, because this is a buildup of something that you will be receiving. There's something of receiving coming in. This will make you very happy. What are some more messages here from our little woodland creatures? Okay, we have the quail and the gooseberry and the deer and oats, healing, and we have anticipation with this one. Oh, I love this. This is beautiful. Well, first off, I'm very connected with quail. I raised quail for many years, and I might even do it again. I have a neighbor down the road who has a big farm, and I usually just get eggs from her if we do eggs. But I'm mostly vegan, but I have my nutritional needs throughout the year where I definitely feel like these eggs are very potent. So I feel like there's something about that with the Queen of Pentacles. It's like quantity over quality over quantity. Okay, because the small eggs, but it's really packed with nutrition. It's coming through here. The gooseberry as well. You know, there's a lot of nutritional value in that. But I'm also seeing, like, make sure that you're weighing this out. Like, I'm seeing the balance here of the quail in the tree here. And this is a ground bird. So I feel like in this position, this bird is maybe even hiding from something on the ground. Maybe it had to go up high to get a higher perspective, because this bird doesn't always, you know, pose in this position. So anticipation, I feel like being right on the edge, being ready to, because it's also not going to stay in this tree for very long. It's just here to kind of pause and to rest and to hide out from whatever's going on the ground. Yeah, I saw a bird similar to this, but this is more of a like California or somewhere else. But I'm not there. But I feel like there was a bird similar to this that flew up in the trees a few months ago, and it was just up there for a second, but it did draw my attention because of the weightiness of the bird. So I feel like, you know, this bird, it has more weight to it because it's more of a ground bird, and I'm seeing that with the Queen of Pentacles. It's like, you know, you need to stay close to the earth. Oh yeah, I'm also hearing, yeah, don't fly too high right now. Don't get too high into your solar plexus energy, into your ego. There it is. You know, keep that balance of the ego right now. Stay connected to, you know, grounding yourself. Maybe even, you know, doing grounding ritual of some type. There's many different ones out there. You can look it up. And then the deer and the oat healing. So I feel like this whole process within the next 24 hours, there is, I feel a very intense energy just with these cards, but intense because this is like a pinnacle of like everything kind of coming to the climax of energy. And then we have this new cycle coming in. So it's like things might be pretty intense in this next 24 hours because you're undergoing the last, I'm hearing a last initiation, the last initiation of this healing process. And then I'm going back to that message of 7. So this may even have taken 7 years, I'm hearing, with this, with the sun and the 10. I'm hearing, yeah, 7 years it could have been, this process of healing. And you've had to really go through this on your own, by yourself. Okay? And now you're you're able to come out now and see things from a new light and see the positive energy in things and be a little bit more nostalgic and loving, I feel, and connected is what's coming through. All right. All right, and also another message is coming through because you got 2 water birds. So I'm feeling with that, it's saying the Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. We have water energy, earth energy. So I'm feeling like your connection to these 2 things need to be held quite close to you right now. This heavy water energy and the 10 of Cups here and the Death card as well. So I'm feeling like something about the element of water in the next 24 hours. You might even want to do a water fire ritual. I'm seeing this as a candle on the water. Maybe there's some type of ritual you'd like to bring in. And this nostalgia card is telling me make sure you incorporate all the things that you love and you want to bring in more of in your life. So that's kind of a recipe for some type of spell here. I'm hearing. Okay. All right, well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me and breaking in these new lovely cards. And I will see you in another reading. Hopefully you can come and sprinkle your energy in one of my other readings. All right, bye-bye. Hello to those of you who selected group 2 with this jade plant here. All right, so immediately what I heard was it needs a friend with this one, with group 2. Something about group 2 has to do with relationships, something, connection to someone else, something else. So let's go ahead and see. All right, so we're also, this reading is about the next 24 hours. So what are the messages coming through with these plants? I can intuitively feel here. Let's see. Okay. Who wants to join the jade plant? Okay. All right, this one right here. Very different plant, but also kind of, this one's a moderate watering, this is sparsely watering. This is bright indirect, this is bright direct. Okay, this one grows on other plants, this one's more in the ground. Okay, it's more of an epiphyte. It's a picture of the quail here in the background, and it's coming, it's funny, there's a message from group 1. If you watched group 1, I don't know, maybe it's saying to go back and watch that one as well, because I'm seeing the message of the quail coming through, that came through in group 1, and it's saying something about getting grounded in some aspect, because the quail was up in the tree in that depiction, and this one is an epiphyte, so epiphyte kind of up in the tree. So I'm hearing like maybe we've been doing a lot of internet searching, or maybe there's something about the internet. Maybe there's a lot of things up in your mind about this connection. I feel maybe there's just a grounding element, and I'm seeing also with this Zen garden behind here is showing me to meditate on something, active meditation, maybe even something that you're doing that involves not getting anything out of it, like it's you're just creating something for the moment, that moment of that energy that's passing through you. Embrace that, embracing the moment. So I'm feeling a lot of prosperity with the jade. The jade is also a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Here it says the coin-shaped leaves. Antler shaped, yeah. That's what I was trying to put together. Decomposing plant matter, ferns, antler-like fronds, mounted on wood panels. Yeah, so with that, I'm also feeling like there's kind of like this round aspect in this, and then this feminineness, and then there's this masculineness in these horns. So I'm saying like feminine, masculine balance. Maybe also the person that you inquired about today, or you're feeling that's a part of the energy now, is the opposite sex of yourself. So let's go ahead and get more messages here from the tarot. This is going to be more about the next 24 hours. What do we need to hear? What is the advice? The moon card just shined through, so that there is a phase that we are in at the moment that has to do with something with receiving the feminine energy. So yeah, that message of the masculine, feminine, so it's like make sure that we stay balanced, but also can differentiate between the two when we're in our receiving mode. What is the energy of that? And I'm being guided to also talk about my card of the day, which was the Empress here. So she came through for me a couple, got the little spider web. So yeah, she came through for me a couple weeks ago when my partner's grandmother came to town, and my partner's grandmother was a Taurus. So maybe, since I'm being guided to say that, maybe there's someone here that is a Taurus watching. But I'm also hearing with that message, there is something about the internet coming through. There is something where you need to purge yourself. There is energy where you need to get more grounded, because if you have any predominant earth placements within your chart, in your astrology, that are, you know, pretty dominant in your energy field, that is very important to get yourself grounded, because you can get off balance when you get too connected with things that are really cerebral in the mind, or internet stuff. A lot of focus where you know, your feet are off the ground. You're maybe sitting too much. Your feet are off the ground. I'm hearing you put your feet on the ground. It's a message coming through. As I feel like with that fish, this looks lower than the plant. I'm hearing with that message of the fish that is connected to finances, connected to your prosperity. And when you do this, when you get grounded, you're going to draw in, this orange color is showing me very connected with the sacral chakra. You're going to be drawing in the right people, and the right people that are going to bring more prosperity into your life. 1, 6, 7, 8 candles here, 8 flames. I'm seeing that as 8 weeks. Something about 8 weeks coming through. Okay. I'm going to tear out. It's a message for those that selected group 2 for the next 24 hours. Alright, so I'm being guided to show this one. Okay. Okay. I knew it was going to come up. This is interesting. All right, so at the beginning of this reading, before I put these bracelets on, I don't know if you could still see it. No, you can't, but I had this chain around me, and it got really tight, and then it got really loose. And I was like, why is it getting loose? It was attached weird. And so I was like trying to fix it, and I had a really hard time with my nails. And I was like, how do people with longer nails, how do they do it? So I'm like trying to get out of this clasp, and my nails were like trapping me from, and I'm hearing that in this message, like there's something chaining you down. Okay, I'm seeing the original depiction of this, but this is interesting with the 2 scorpions. Yeah, their tails look like chain links. So yeah, I'm feeling like something's trapping you, something's binding you, something, and it's temporary, but it's like what the message that I was hearing as I was starting to kind of panic. So I'm like, get me out of this thing. I was like, I'm not gonna wear this today. I'm not gonna wear this bracelet today. It's obvious that like, but then I heard there's something about that, the like metaphor of that situation that's going to be evident in the card reading for today. And yours is the card reading. So we have the 8 of Arrows, the Devil, the Hanged Warden, and the 5 of Pentacles. So I'm hearing a trapped message, trapped in the house, trapped in and I'm also hearing trapped in maybe a foreign environment that you don't know, but you were guided to be there. I'm hearing mother also with the Hanged Warden with the possum. Now I'm hearing channeled messages with this energy because of that. I feel like the connection there. So I had possums in my house a few months ago, and they were little babies just in the summertime that came out, and they were about this big, like the size of a adult rat. Okay. And at first I thought it was a rat, and I was like, oh my god, ew. And I don't know why it's better that it was a possum, but I live out in the country, so I figure, animals, they're very attracted to me. I always have like very weird animals all over me, and I have lots of different pets as well. So I'm feeling in this message here with the possum, there's something about being in your home or someone in your home or someone coming to your home temporarily in the next 24 hours that it's like I'm hearing they'll find their way out. I mean, as in, I'm hearing also metaphorically, like if there's an energy, someone occupying your mind, there is an energy. Yeah, we had that message of the 2, so connected to someone. So you're very intertwined. Okay, the chain is coming through. So you're very intertwined with another person right now. You're chained to a situation. It may be weighing on your self-esteem is what I'm hearing with this. You may be feeling like disconnected here, but there is a path ahead. I also hearing that message of the mother, and I'm seeing a male deer or a buck here with the baby. So I'm feeling something about absence of a mother, something you are the mother. This is a new journey. The Hermit. Okay, so when that happened, I love to look at the spiritual meaning of possum, and there were 2 babies. That's all I saw was 2, and they were in this area where we had just put up a new water heater, and the panel thing wasn't screwed all the way in because I wanted to insulate around the pipes there, and apparently there was enough space for these little guys to fit through because they came up through the bottom of my house, and they just like were, and they were so slow. That's another thing, like I'm being guided to say like the energy of possum is so peaceful and slow. Like a rat, if it were a rat, it would be like and like jump away and run really fast, and rats have that like fast energy, but possums don't. They're very peaceful and agile, and they want to make sure that they have their balance. Like he was teeter-tottering on the edge of like this plastic rim thing that had the spouts for the washer and dryer that were going to be put in, and it was like this little edge that he was on, and he was like, like trying to get his balance, and I was just watching him the whole time as he was trying. He was so cute and fluffy, and this like when I got to look at their faces and everything and their weird hands, like they have interesting paws, like they're not like regular paws. They have like I think an extra toe or something, I can't remember, but like I feel like there's something unusual. Okay, that's coming through. There's something unusual. The Fool's saying, think about the planet Uranus. Okay, something unusual that I feel like maybe you want to let out of yourself. Yeah, you need to there's something about connecting with the right people, and then in the next 24 hours you're being you're being called to stay put. You're being called to get somewhere cozy, stay put. I'm also hearing the message also from group 1 as well. It's coming through with the Scorpions and with had the death card. So the Scorpio message in that I'm feeling was you're not going to know all the details, and sometimes there's times to retreat. I'm feeling was the main messages there. You need to retreat and recharge your energy. Let's get some more messages on this from our oracle cards here. What's the messages for those that selected group 2 for the next 24 hours, please? Okay, we have 34 voyage. You already have all the answers. Okay, well, maybe you came looking for answers about something and you already have all the answers. Number 34 here showing me you know where to go. You know where to go. The 3 is showing me Gemini, and it's showing me I'm seeing this as genius. Like, I feel like Gemini is really smart energy, and in a person, I feel like they're the kind of person that asks questions about the stuff they already know because they like to get many perspectives, and sometimes people will accuse them of kind of like making up things to conversate about that they know the answers to, just so they can be like, well, I know I'm right. I mean, I guess that would be the unbalanced side of that, but I see that the main intention should be to see it like you're trying to get all the information that you need, and maybe even asking questions that you don't know the answers to, in order to engage with what another person's opinion or maybe the start of an opinion would be, because maybe you want to get many different opinions from many sources in order to, you know, because I'm feeling like this map is showing me, like, if you're going to go somewhere, it's going to be abroad. When I wanted to go to another country, my main thing was like, I just want to know as much as possible about that area. So I looked up many sources and was looking at, I even did the whole thing online where you become a part of the United States travel thing, and they'll like tell you things about that area. Like, say, like one time I got a notification that human trafficking was high in the area that I wanted to go, and I was like, oh crap. Like, that's not good. So I was like, well, not going there. Maybe I'll pick the other place I wanted to go. So I'm feeling like there's a lot of information that you should get, because this journey, I feel like you're going on a journey here. This is new for you, but it's telling you not to be a fool about the next steps you take, because you could get trapped into situations that, it's also showing me the 5 of Pentacles is saying have multiple streams of ways of having money. Okay, don't go just with like traveler's checks, or don't go with just credit cards, or don't go with cash. Like, make sure that you have ways that you are going to be able to fund this adventure if you're going on this, because if you don't, I feel like you could get yourself into situations. It's also saying to me there's going to be some temptation along the way, and it says to pause yourself and think of something, and if something's too rushed or someone's trying to rush you along too quickly with anything, it's saying to intuitively pause, take time, because anything that is trying to rush you into a moment that's like, this is a passing moment. I mean, I can understand, like, if you're going to get on a ship and like there's no, you know, you can't wait, you have to get on now because the ship is leaving. I understand that, but like, or if you're, you know, leaving on any airplane or anything, there is timing for things, right? There is also ceremonies that I was saying this about. I went to a wedding a while back, and I was like, well, it's funny how there's certain things you have to be on time for, but others, like as far as parties go, like you don't want to be the first person or early to a party, but like a wedding, you want to be on time. You want to make sure that you're following all the instructions so that you're not the person that walks in when the ceremony is going on or anything like that. Like there's certain things you have to be on time for, and you know, rushing yourself is probably not the best. So pacing yourself, like for me, I was like, well, if I did this next time, I wouldn't want to be driving the same day of the ceremony. So that's one thing, like I'm like, I would like to be a little bit more prepared for the next time. So I'm seeing like that, like, is there something that you need to prepare yourself for so that you don't get into a circumstance where someone's offering you something that you are in lack of, I'm hearing, and you're making a risky decision because you're trying to supply for yourself because maybe you packed very lightly on this journey. Okay, this could be metaphorically too, like equipping yourself in life, you know, being able to have all the answers and know all of the things. Like I'm also seeing risky investments. If you're going to make any risky investments and then feel like you used all your money, you put all your eggs in one basket to see the results of this because you thought, oh, well, this is all I have, you know, this is my one shot. You can't think like that when it comes to investments. You have to, you know, pace yourself in a level where you still have something to take care of yourself while something's cooking. So, you know, there's I feel like with this message too, the devil is saying, the Capricorn energy is showing me get financial advice from many different sources. There's lots of videos you can watch online. There's lots of things that people aren't really in it, but to give you the best information they can. So it's not like talking to a financial advisor. You're just talking to someone who gives financial advice, who's not really trying to get you hooked into investments. And if they are going to try to do that, it says take your time with that. You know, this journey needs to be thought of wisely. Okay, so let's get some more messages here from the birds. That one wants to come out. Starling, community, communication, clarity. Yes, very, very, very appropriate. Okay, so establishing yourself with the right people, the right connections around you. This card, connect, the connections around you. I mean, a Capricorn would do that, right? I mean, I feel like also the Scorpion is saying like get your hooks in the right area in life. Know when to act, know when to react, know when to sting. Like the Scorpion's not going to sting everything. Like it's going to really weigh that out, and it's going to do more of a threat. Like, oh, so I feel like that also too, like it's like dance with it a little bit. Feel out the energy. Is this really the thing that you want to get involved in? Because I feel like there's multiple different things that you could get yourself involved in. Oh, lots of birds, lots of messages when I come through for you. So I feel like that is as community. There's a lot of messages you're going to hear within the community, probably the online community as well. I'm hearing with the Fool card. So it's also telling me to discernment in the next 24 hours is going to be very, I'm hearing a lot of discernment as in process of elimination. In the next 24 hours is what you need to focus on the most. Don't heavily invest yourself in anything. Don't tie yourself down to anything. Don't, put yourself out by really going in hard with anything right now, because you don't want to create any unnecessary urgency or desperation. I'm hearing to your energy, because I feel like that there is something lurking. I'm feeling like this vampire bat's like there is vampire energy lurking, because it's what I'm hearing is it can sense out the level of passion that you have, that you want to succeed, and it can feel this energy. It's like dripping off of you. And so don't fall prey to other people who see that energy in you and want to exploit that in you, because maybe they have lost that. Like I see this image of someone being in a business where there's sales involved, and someone that's a senior salesman is just like really tired and has been in the game for a while and is looking to unload a lot of his work and profit from it from a junior salesperson that's involved. So and using that new, I'm hearing green blood, to put forth most of the energy involved. So it's kind of, but I also see that as there is some benefit to that. If you are going to get into a situation where you're getting involved with another person, that they're saying to weigh out that situation, because make sure you're not compromising too much, and to pause and wait and have time periods like maybe 24 hours, sit on it for 24 hours. Is this a commitment you really want to make? Because in your mind, you may feel like, oh, this is like the last thing that I'll ever have. When you have that lack mentality, thinking like this is the last opportunity you're ever going to have, that reality might be created for you in this instance. So it's saying to have a very open-minded perspective, think that there's lots of ways of getting out of the situation, and there's maybe even clauses that you need to think about in an agreement or something like that is coming through as well. That you need to have ways of, I'm hearing a lawyer. There needs to be someone who needs to write down the language appropriately so that you have ways of getting out of these contracts or situations that aren't binding in a way that is taking something of yours. Because, there's something about a decision that is made with haste, that hasn't had the time to marinate. It might not be the best decision. Right? I'm also hearing just haste with anything, getting married too soon, moving in with someone too soon, investing in any business ideas with someone too soon, even if this person, especially if this person is someone who is of close blood or friendship to you. You want to make sure that you handle that situation with care because of the closeness that they occupy, because you don't want to disrupt anything of the main circle of people that you're attached to, is what I'm hearing. So, keeping those things separate, business, pleasure, business, family. I'm hearing maybe there needs to be a separation in that. Okay. Dreams, peace, tranquility. Okay, we're going to move on to the next deck here. So dreams, peace, tranquility. So this whole group, I think this whole reading also, there is something about dreams at this time, collectively. There's something about dreams. There might be dreams of feeling lack. I'm also hearing that maybe if there's a dream where you felt like your self-esteem was being just totally ripped away from you, and you're like in a very embarrassing situation, if there's any dreams like that, or just left out in the cold kind of dreams, or left alone, or left in a situation with somebody that I'm hearing that like was there because you needed them at the time, but wasn't really the ideal companion for the time. I'm hearing it's just like, I'm hearing also misery loves company. Also, like maybe there's been someone that you've been around that has been kind of taking away some of the peace and tranquility that you could have, or maybe robbing you of some clarity, kind of junking up the energy. I just feel like there's too much communication to it, and I'm feeling like I can't stop talking. Like my speech is like non-stop, like I'm not even really taking a breath. I'm just like talk. So I feel like maybe there might be that kind of energy vampiring. It's like when someone just doesn't stop talking and they don't let you insert or have a real clear communication. Yeah, I'm feeling like you need to definitely retreat and get your energy back, because maybe I feel like you're offering too much time of yourself, and you're allowing yourself to be open to others coming in and going, hey, it looks like you're not doing too much, and the idle hands, there it is, idle hands of the devil. You're not doing too much. Why don't I help you occupy your hands, your time? So it's like, it's telling me to make sure that this is a self-imposed situation. Like you are the one that decides this. You're the one that decides to put yourself on pause, put yourself on timeout, because this new journey that you're going to be taking, it's saying you need to move light. Okay, this could be metaphorical or physical. This next journey you need to take light. I'm seeing these feathers in her earrings, this light energy. I'm also hearing the message of the whale here. Protect your ocean. Oh, okay. Protect your ocean. We do have the loon. This is a water bird. Protect your ocean. Yeah, protect your emotions is what I'm hearing from that. Don't let someone get too close to you that doesn't know you right now. Like if, yeah, I feel like you might be, if you're in a vulnerable situation, you know, someone might take advantage of that. So it's like, get strong with yourself, make sure that you know what is going on, and yeah, the marten and foxglove. It's interesting. Okay, the marten, I've been seeing this little creature and also the stout and like these, the same kind of type of creature. Mischief. Yeah, someone's somewhat up to no good. The foxglove is a poisonous, beautiful flower, but poisonous. The beaver and the birch, home. Okay. Feeling like right now you're needing to stay home or stay in your security, stay in your safe place at the moment. Maybe your community is an online community. Yeah. It's also saying, yeah, beware of things that are too good to be true. The lure of something beneficial and prosperous may ignite a flame within you, wanting you to strike at the opportunity. But this flame may be just a lure or a detour of what's really going on. Yeah, it's just saying be very aware of those who are around you right now. I just feel like you definitely, there's really some energy that you're attracting or you're attached to that is wanting something of your prosperity. Because I see you as this plant, the jade, that was the plant of prosperity, wealth, the coins. And then this was like up in the air. So it's like, and this plant's also kind of a plant, like it could be viewed, I mean, it works in cooperation with the other plant, but it could also be viewed as somewhat of a parasite, you know, an epiphyte, parasite. Yeah, okay. So there's definitely someone around you that I'm feeling there's something to do with that, and saying, you know, guard what is close to you, your space. I'm seeing also these eyes on these birch trees. It's watching you. Someone's watching you. Okay, home. I'm also hearing don't do it for the crowd. Do it for you. Do it for the crowd, do it for you. You already have all the answers. It says, okay. Maybe that energy that I said before with the Gemini of asking the questions that you already know the answers to. Yeah, it's definitely ask new questions that you don't know the answers to. Make sure you get all of that straight. Okay. All right, well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me in this energy exchange. And if you feel so called, come and see me again sometime. All right, bye-bye. Hello, thank you so much for joining me. Those that selected group 3 with this lovely little card here with the Hoya, okay? So we have the porcelain flower or wax plant. Sometimes it says like symbolizes something, but this one doesn't really have that. Okay, epiphyte. Epiphyte mix. Yeah, I have this one. I have that one. And I have that in a couple different terrariums. I love my terrariums. Okay, So messages coming through is there's a lot of variety. Okay, that's one major message for a group through here. So those of you who are drawn to this card, in the next 24 hours, you're gonna have lots of choices and lots of variety that I feel like may at first kind of surprise you, like you didn't really expect that to come about or happen. Because I feel like this plant, I got this from my partner's grandmother when she passed, and we had to go clean out her condo that she lived in, and we were dividing up the plants, and I took one of the plants. It was just a cutting from the bigger plant that his mother took, so we kind of had the same kind of plant to kind of share her energy. So I feel like there's something to do here with the family lineage, the female family lineage also. Maybe not, it might not be directly your family lineage, but maybe someone that you're connected to because of my situation. Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead and look into the tarot here. So messages for the next 24 hours. All right, the Temperance card just flashed to me, so I feel like there's maybe something that we need to add or subtract out of the situation. I also feel like within this compartmentalized little areas, it's like if this plant, because this plant can get really huge, it'll go and go and go. It's kind of like a vine, and it'll go on to other plants, right? It can spread itself out. And so I'm feeling like there's something that needs to be pruned away. Okay, the Temperance card is showing me something needs to be pruned away to balance out something. Okay, something's become a little overgrown, I'm also feeling like maybe a child. Maybe a child's too grown, or you're too grown. Maybe there's some things that you've been up to lately that you're like, I should probably not do that thing because I'm kind of grown now, and that's a little immature for me. Yeah. We always go through those processes, right? All right, so we have the World card. Excellent. 6 of Cups. All right. 7 of Arrows. 6 of Arrows. 2 of Arrows. And I was guided to get a 5th card, but also share this, the Empress. And that is my card of the day. So, lots of energy in the mind, okay, already. So the Empress coming through under the bottom is like, underlyingly, we need to get grounded. And I'm seeing the rabbit like literally going underneath the ground. So I'm saying there's a message connecting with ancestors here, female ancestors, particularly. The 7 of Arrows right now is saying that if there's someone coming back into your life and they're using nostalgia to lure you in and get you back into their life, that don't go too far of a distance to mingle with this person, because I feel like it might put you in a situation where you have to make a decision and you're gonna feel like not in your comfort zone or not in like the best place to make a decision. It's like it's also giving me making a decision and like someone's kind of like making you choose and you're like, I don't want to choose, like I don't want to have to choose. Something about that. And with the Empress, that there's many suitors. Okay, we had the variety, okay, and where this feels like an old school message coming through, I'm just, that collar is kind of giving me like yeah, the collars, just the vibe of these cards is kind of like I'm hearing a flute playing in the background, like I'm at the Renaissance Festival. Yeah, I love that this card is coming through here with the dragonfly, because the dragonfly shows me this emergence from one world to another. And like the water is one world and the land and the air is another world. So it's a part of these two worlds. It keeps them very connected because it gets its food source from the water. I'm hearing like it eats mosquitoes too. Like I like to attract these guys to my pond in the front of my house because they'll eat the mosquito larvae, or they'll also eat the mosquitoes that emerge. And also I have goldfish in there too, so that they eat them. But you know, if you have any water source, it's really good to make sure that it doesn't get like festering with mosquitoes, right? Although winter's coming and we have to winterize the pond out there. All right, so with the Six of Cups, it's also telling me that this is like a very small situation that you have coming into the past. I feel like maybe this might even be just something that you're emotionalizing and you have a lot up in your head. The world is showing me a farewell tour. Like you're having this remembrance in your head about the year that has passed. And in the next 24 hours, the Empress says to embrace that receiving energy and get grounded, because we have a lot of things in our mind, and there needs to be like this very firm, fixed perspective, and there's more emotions and thoughts than there are grounded, fixed solutions, opinions, hypothesis. You know, there's something that you're going to come to. You're going to make a decision about something. Mary, maybe you might not want to share this decision. Maybe this is like a wish. It has like a wish attached to it. And in order to receive this wish in due time, we don't need to be sharing it with others, no matter how connected they are to us from the past. I'm also hearing there may be a child that is not sharing something with you because it has something to do with work, success, being in the right harmony. There's something about the harmony being disrupted in some way in this. Maybe that's why I also say there needs to be something subtracted from this, because it's like if these vines grow over too much. So I'm feeling like there's some energy of needing to also respect someone's boundaries, or your boundaries need to be respected at this time. In that, you need to get into the right headspace and getting yourself grounded. Now the mole is also really showing me that in this depiction. Yeah. It's little feet on the rocks. I feel like you're also making a decision and you're kind of on the rocks or on the fence, so to speak, of whether you should make some type of a journey. And this might be just a metaphorical journey, or a way that you're taking your thoughts and transforming them in some way. And the 6 is also giving me the message of doing the healthy thing, the right choice, making the right choice, because it may involve something that you don't know about, that is kind of underneath the surface. I'm also seeing health. Oh, and then the message that I got this morning in the meditation for the Empress was, how is it? Well, first of all, it was like my mind heard the message about taking care of yourself like you have a child growing within you, even if you don't, you know, like looking at it like you do so much when you're pregnant, or you would do. Like, let's say you've never been pregnant but let's just imagine that you are, and you want the best for your baby. So you eat the right way, you exercise the right way, that you're, you try to, at least you're going to try to do the best thing, or you see your doctor regularly, you do whatever is best because you have this underlying thing. It's like, well, you're worried a little bit because you just want everything to work out perfectly, so you try to do everything perfectly. But then when you don't have another person growing inside of you, you may not treat yourself with that much care, right? So that was a message that kind of came through. It was like, I've had 2 children. So it's like when I was pregnant, especially with my second child, I was just so healthy. I did everything I could. I was, and I also had a blood disorder. So I wanted to make sure that everything was going good. I was healthy, so my child would be healthy. And then afterwards, it's like you have moments where you're drinking too much coffee, or you're drinking too much alcohol, or you're, indulging in foods that aren't really that good for your heart health, things like that. So I feel that this energy is coming through to say, make the healthy choice. These 2 6s is like, make the healthy choice, because in this next cycle, you may not have a lot of, I'm hearing like you may be running out of choices in some way. Running out of choices, as in, I'm seeing these as the fixed signs, fixed opinions, fixed life. Like there may be something that you may get yourself into that is kind of your box that you're putting yourself into. So if you don't want that, to be labeled, I'm hearing also, if you don't want to be labeled a certain way about, the decisions and the choices that you make, it's like, it's almost the message from group 1 is coming through. I don't know why that is. Group one. Huh. There was something earlier when I was shuffling out the cards, and there was a connection. But right now it's like, the decisions that you make, you want to make them with integrity, right? Because the queens were in that reading. We had 2 queens. And I felt like in that position, the decisions that you make affect others around you in a very noticeable and impactful way. So collectively in this pick a card reading today, the message of integrity is coming through for you as well. And doing things in a way that you're not cutting corners or being sneaky about anything. Even if you think they're little white lies or little tiny idioms that don't really matter, they might matter in the long run. So don't, especially if you're doing anything that's involved with business. I see with the World card, if you're communicating around the world with anybody, it is really good to, I'm hearing, do what you say you're going to do. Be someone of your word, because that will come back around and people will remember you. 6 of Cups. People will fondly remember you for someone who makes the right decisions and doesn't cut corners, and maybe even calls things out when you see them. Like if you go, oh, I'd like to make a better decision this time, or I want to do business a little bit differently this time around, and then you tell your past contacts that this is how you're going to be doing business from now on, and people look at you with a higher degree of integrity, and you get a better reputation. And then that way, when you're moving through life, things will be a little bit smoother this time around. Because maybe before, some of the things that we had in our mind, or something that we were taught, I'm hearing also something that we had been programmed into early in life, we've had to reprogram ourselves and make different choices than maybe our parents made. Okay. I feel also there is this new world of energy. This could be quite literal for you. This might be an organization or something that you're a part of. There might be many facets to this organization. Maybe you are one of these. I feel like the people that you should connect with or are going to connect with are maybe people that have similar backgrounds, have maybe similar things and similar energies that they can really harmonize together. I'm hearing with the number 6 is you harmonize well with these people. I'm hearing like there's something about your frequencies, your tones, that they are in the same alignment this time around. I'm seeing that also with the Empress. It's like everything has to be just so. Your body has to be pretty aligned in a certain way, in a certain fertility, in a certain, you know, you're building up your health in a certain way so that your body is receptive to bring in the seed of fertility, and therefore it's also strong enough to replicate itself, you know, in a way, right? So it's like there's this energy of you being in the right place, the right time, and kind of just slipping in. I feel like you're also going to be associating with people that you're like, this is my people. These are the people. This is what I need to surround myself with. And holding yourself to a high standard. I feel like there's something also that you're going to be achieving. There's a recognition to something that you've been doing. It's been a cycle now. There's been a long, maybe even longer than a year, I'm hearing. Longer than a year or many years. And now we're coming up on another accomplishment. I'm hearing also have a celebration of these accomplishments. All right, let's get some more energy here from these oracle cards. For those that selected group 2, the next 24 hours. All right, we have number 43, spaceship. Don't be afraid to sing. We have number 39, raindrops. Take a chance on them. Oh, that's so nice. So maybe there is someone, I'm seeing this connection of friendships. This looks to me like 3 of cups. And this looks like 2 of cups. Very interesting. Yeah, harmony. See, like we're getting that same message that I just said. There's this harmony that's happening in this group. I feel also, I'm hearing star seeds of a kind. Star seeds of all one, uniting. Something about that. The fairies in the subtle realms. Raindrops. Take a chance on them. Yeah, I feel like you're being guided. There's something about you being guided to the right experience, the right people. These people feel like long lost siblings of, you know, another kind. Like I just feel like they're... Ooh, what I'm also hearing is like something coming out in the DNA of people. Like it's like stored in the DNA, I'm hearing, and it's being distributed to certain people, and these people somehow are their energy frequency, because of this DNA sequence that they were given, they're lining up with these other individuals. Yeah, it's really like there's many different kinds. Like the Hoya is like many different types of these plants, of these species, or of this genus. Many different types like you, but they're all like joining together. I'm feeling like working together, joining together, going places. Something about going to the right destinations, like meeting up in the right destinations. Maybe something you're being called to go towards. I also feel a cleansing. The raindrops are showing me there is a cleansing energy. Give me a chance at it. That message from the beginning when I talked about the Temperance card, that something that is being cleansed away from you, washed away from you, nourished, something nourished within you that you needed, something taken away that you didn't need, and something given to you that you need. What is a message from the birds here for the next 24 hours? Thrush, voice, commitment, cleverness. And the swift, movement, travel, hearth, and home. Okay, there it is. The world card, getting the world card and the 6 of arrows. I mean, it really shows me there is something, you know, to do with travel here. But it's also like showing me keep something close to you. I'm hearing like keep your own, yeah, trust. It's trust in your intuition for this travel. I feel like collectively there is, maybe people are wanting to travel at this time. There's something going on. All right, let's get you some messages from this deck here. Yeah, you're definitely being asked to share your opinion, share your voice, share what's in your mind, what's in your head. I feel like you're really keeping this in from other people. Maybe it's time to connect with others and share. I'm here, and the Empress says obligate them. I'm hearing that's interesting. Oh, I'm not gonna share that. I'm hearing obligate them. Like, I'm hearing, like, you know, like a royalty or an empress. I'm seeing like them being doted on and taken care of. And I'm seeing an image of like her wanting her servants they're like begging for her to come up with things, like they have nothing to do, and they're like, they want to prove their loyalty, and they want to say, oh, I want to give to you, Empress. I want to do something for you. And she's like, has nothing for them to do because she's content, she's fine. But like, then she thinks, maybe you can do something that I don't really want to do, but I want the result of it. Like, and then I'm seeing an image of like someone picking through cereal for like the good parts of the cereal. Like, I only like this kind of charm, like from Lucky Charms or some kind of cereal where there's like a specific type of charm, and like she wants all of the rainbows but she doesn't want any of the other stuff, so she just wants you to pick out all the rainbows. That's interesting. So that's a funny image. So what I'm seeing from that's like something, there's some metaphor behind that, but I'm feeling like really it's like obligate someone to do something that you would maybe do, that's a strange thing that you do that maybe you don't want to share with someone, but maybe that has something to do with a relationship, something to do with a connection. Maybe this is also just, I'm also seeing this as being a moderator or someone, or hiring a moderator to work with your videos, work with whatever you do if you're a content creator. Maybe there's something about that. Maybe there's something that you like, that it's like share all the details, even the weird stuff that you feel is like a little out there, and you're like, well, I don't know if I want to like share this about myself because I'm embarrassed, but I do this when I edit my videos, and I just make sure that like like for me, I mean, one thing when I edit my videos, I make sure that I watch it all the way through, and then I watch it, because when I'm editing, you know, they say that you get tired of your own voice when you do this kind of thing. And I do. Sometimes I'm like, ugh, like I don't want to hear myself say that. Like, especially if I'm saying like the same type of spiritual stuff. Like, I'm like, this is the formula to this. And it's like, I've heard that like 1,000 times, like, and that makes me not want to say it ever again. But instead of getting hung up on my own voice in that, I will fast forward through. Like, I'll put it on fast voice so I sound like a little chipmunk while I'm editing. And that kind of helps me, and even sometimes it's funny. So I'll be editing and I'll be like going through it with my fast-paced voice, but at the very end, I just make sure, and I go through and I double check that I went back to the normal voice so that I don't have any parts that are like me speeding up my voice and you're like, oh, why did you put it in like that? But that's, if you ever do find anything like that before me doing the second round of editing, is what I do is when I post it or put it on there, I'll listen to it all the way through in a fast mode, but one that I can hear my own voice, just to really clear through and make sure that I don't have any of those things. That's just like a little weird thing that I do in order to kind of not be annoyed by my own voice. So that's just like a little side message. If you are a content creator, maybe you needed to hear that. But also, I just feel like there is there's maybe someone that you can hire to do these things for you. You know, going to the next level is what I'm hearing with the world, going to the next level. I mean, I don't feel like I'm completely there, but maybe you are. Maybe you have a channel where you have a lot of content, a lot of subscribers, a lot of energy, where you're really pushed to put out You know, and in that I'm also saying go at your own pace, I'm feeling, because like the sword cards, I'm feeling like you could get kind of stressed out in this energy. So it's saying like go at a pace that you can actually maintain. Okay. All right, so let's get some more messages here from our little woodland creatures. The next 24 hours for those that selected group 3. We have the frog and the lotus. And we have the dragonfly and the pansy. Oh, cool. Dragonfly coming through twice for you. How special. So balance. Yes. Oh, with the wings. Yes. Big on the balance. Frog and lotus. Metamorphosis. There's that change again. I feel like there's a big change in this movement or this energy that you're, like, the world is showing me. Maybe this message is more geared toward the next 24 hours is about you working through the things for the next upcoming year. You know, if you're a content creator, you know, you're probably trying to get ahead of the game, which is, you know, the best strategy. So it's like, maybe you want to change things up. Maybe you want to take things in another direction that's going to be more profitable, I'm hearing, for you with the frog. That's more transformative in the long run, like where you could take more avenues when you're creating your content to where it's going to sprout off. So I'm seeing like branches and sprouting off from that. So it's like you make a video about, I'll just use mine for example. I make a video about, let's say I decide to make a video about astrology. And then I branch off from that, where I do each individual one. And then from that, I do a video that's associated with that about each individual one. So it's like, I see that as like a family tree. Like each one sprouts its own baby. Like each creation that you create also creates. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm hearing. And you will find a balance in this. I feel there is a balance. Like you don't want to go in too hard. I'm also feeling like that in a new job. You know, I don't know. That's kind of my thing with jobs is like, if you ever do a physical job, you don't want to put out more energy than you can actually maintain on a level that you're working that job. So let's say you come in with 110%. Are you going to be 110% guy? Or are you going to be somebody who gives like maybe 75 and make sure that you establish that boundary and be firm about it, that this is as much as you're going to get from me because I have other things in my life that I do and I cannot give you this much of my time. And if that's the case, you know, maybe you need to pull back and not be a part of certain things because you want to be able to give 110%, right? I mean, if you're always coming in at 75, you know, that may not be the best you know, energy that you would like to put out into the world. Like, is that how you want to represent yourself? Is what I'm hearing. Okay. All right. And on the bottom here, we have the goat and the willow. Overcoming obstacles that you're tangled in or wrapped up in is going to be resolved, and you're going to be getting out of it in a way that I'm hearing from the goat. You are going to eat it up. Like, I'm hearing also like that saying, like, I eat you for breakfast, or eat things like that for breakfast, you know, as like the saying, like, you're tough, you can handle things, like, you can handle things in life because you handle hard stuff. Like, you basically eat it up. Like, you're a fierce person, and I'm feeling like the goat is showing me you're a survivor. You have really good energy, you have a good immune system, or you're doing things that are building that immune system so that you're getting very strong. And I'm also hearing like you're very resilient. There's something also about a water source, something with the water source here that may be beneficial for you right now, may establish more boundaries, may get you more grounded. You may also release more in the throat chakra near a water source, maybe even traveling to some type of water source, I'm hearing. And there's something about Saturn. Maybe you're in your Saturn return, as they're showing me. In the next 24 hours, you may want to check your chart to see when your Saturn return is, because I feel like there's a lot of energy building up into that. I mean, it's not so much as, there's a lot of energy in reading one that was like, oh, it was a lot. This one's like moderate, because I feel like whatever you get yourself in, like you've been in this before. Like I feel like this isn't your first go round. Like you're kind of a champion at this point. And you're starting to notice how energy changes and how you can balance yourself out based on the things that you do, the things that you commit yourself to, like what you say. I'm also feeling like the voice here, like the spell energy. Like there's something I think in a recipe for spell in group 1 or 2, I don't know. But what I'm hearing from that is incorporate a lot of your emotions into this. So there's something to do with a water and air spell with this, especially for safe travel as well. Putting that, if you have an altar space, putting something symbolizing air, and then maybe even some moon water, I'm hearing like feminine water, moon energy. I'm also hearing Venus, the planet Venus, honoring the energy of the Venus. I'm hearing like a physical representation, something of earth that is also like something aesthetically pleasing on your altars, or something anywhere within your view, your main view line when you pass through your home. I'm hearing, make sure that the hearth of your home, somewhere in the center of your home, yeah, to place something there as a physical reminder for this next cycle. And also maybe even an achievement. Maybe there's some type of reward or something, or just a symbol of the level of achievement. Okay. All right. Well, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you feel so called, come and see me again sometime. All right. Bye-bye.